Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back. I'm Rusty, the Cowboy Trucker. I'm with the Flag Sable. She's behind the camera, and this is our trucking dog, Xerxes. Today, I got a little story for you. We're going to talk about we were hauling heavy with our truck, 2013 T680 with the ISX15. We were running about 1,800 RPMs to help pull the weight and keep the air moving through the engine. Well, we were going. Sable was on the phone talking to agents and looking for loads, and I'm sitting here driving, paying attention to what's going on. We hear a big pow, and then all of a sudden you hear the engine just rumbling like she was a straight pipe W900. When we pulled over to go look, come to find out, the clamp for the exhaust coming off the turbo going into the DOC and DPF disappeared. And so we were running basically a straight pipe going on down the road. So it took us about 40 miles to derate, but luckily there was a TA there when we pulled in after we derated. Because if your exhaust's not going through your after treatment, the ECM and PCM will derate you for that. So that's why you can't straight pipe a newer truck. So we were able to get a clamp that we needed to clamp it together, but we couldn't get the seal. So we put the new clamp on, go down the road, get to a dealership where we're able to get the new seal. So today, we're going to go through on how replacing that seal and how easy a job it is. It might be a little time consuming to clean the pipes and get all the seal off if you do using nothing but a wire brush, scraper, flathead, whatever you got. So, let's get her done.
6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight.
Now to fix this, this is a brand new clamp, and we didn't have access to the seal when this clamp exploded on us when we were going down the road. So all of a sudden, she started sounding like a W900 after we heard a big old pow. We had to pull over and find out why. So we were running her straight off this pipe off the turbo, which is bad because she doesn't have no back pressure on the engine to build torque. So now to fix this, we just got to replace the seal. So we got an 11 millimeter socket on the impact. We're just going to very easily back it all the way off. Now the brand new ones are easy to work with and they won't break. Reason why you want to replace these every time you service your exhaust is because the thermal cycling will weaken the clamp. But this one here has only been on for a day or two, so we're going to reuse it instead of replacing it. So we got the nut off, so we're going to do is break the clamp loose all the way around the pipe. You just get something underneath and lightly pry up and it pops off. Really easy. Yeah, the old seal is kind of baked, so we're going to have to get a wire brush to clean it all off. Remove all the soot from the leak. And then you can see where all the old seal is, so you know where to concentrate your efforts to get it clean. And you just go scrubbing away and get all the soot off, and get all the seal off as best as you can. Now you want to get preferably all of it off, because any old seal left behind could create a leak. So some of this stuff you just sit here and pry off until it all comes off. Especially since it's dried and caked on there real bad. But it's really simple. You just sit here and just clean with a wire brush. And you just go scrubbing away and get all the silt off, get all the silt off the best as you can. You want to get preferably all of it off, because any old silt left behind could create a leak. So some of this stuff you just sit here and pry off until it all comes off, especially since it's dried and caked on there real bad. But it's really simple. You just sit here and just clean with a wire brush.
And as you can see, without replacing the seal and just putting the clamp on here, the whole pipe all the way around was just leaking from the old seal. And this carbon builds up pretty quickly. This is all the soot that the ISX15 makes pretty quickly. So you just take your wire brush, go through and clean everything else as best as possible. The reason why you want to clean up the external parts too is so that way the DOT inspection comes around, because it's not if you get one, it's when you get one. You don't want all this there for them to look and say, hey, you got an exhaust leak, and you know for a fact that you already repaired the exhaust leak, and you don't want to leave a whole lot of signs of exhaust leak behind. So that way, next time when you do get one, is it from the old one or is it a new one? So always do your best with cleaning everything up as best you can. Now we're going to hit this with some brake fluid cleaner to clean up the residue. But that's pretty much all it is when you put everything back together. Here's the brake cleaner, and it's really good just cleaning off all excess, dirty everything. Help you clean up, make it as clean as possible. Try not to get it directly on your skin. That'd be kind of hard without using nitrile gloves. I got some, but I've been doing this for a while. Then you just let it dry. Brake cleaner evaporates really quickly. So that's why I like using the brake cleaner to remove any excess oil residue, carbon buildup, anything like that. So now it's nice and clean all the way around. So next time you see soot built up, you know you got an exhaust leak again. And for as cleaning parts, you don't need a really tub with the brake cleaner, because it evaporates so fast, it's not going to really do nothing. You see it's already gone. So you don't have to worry about trying to contain anything you're cleaning unless you're cleaning something like oil. Now, when you clean oil, you need to try to clean that up or mop it up as best as you can, because when the brake cleaner removes it from your engine and put it straight on the ground, you need to clean that up. Every leak on your truck could be a DOT violation, but the ones that really get you is the ones that are dripping on the ground. Those are the ones guaranteed going to fail you. A lot of times you'll have a leak and it'll just be wet around the area it's leaking at. Now, that not necessarily won't make you fail a DOT inspection, but they will note it saying, hey, this is leaking. So that way they bring it to your attention so you can get it repaired before it becomes a bad leak. Any leaks, air leak, fluid leaks, anything, you need to get them repaired as soon as you possibly can. Now, coming in from the front, I'm able to get the back pipe pretty clean, but I can't tell on the pipe going up to the engine. So I'm going to remove these steps really quick and come in from the back side so I can see the other side of the pipe and get that cleaned up as well. Our steps are held on by 6 bolts. So having an impact makes things speeds things up drastically. Now all I got to do is lift up on it and pull it out. Try not to lose all your bolts and washers. All right, that gives us a little bit more room to fit up underneath the steps, because that air fairing there in the steps hang down lower than the framework. It also gives me a crawl space where I can crawl up underneath the exhaust and work my way up.
And the kind of stuff I'm talking about you're removing that you could probably start prying up with a flathead, stuff like this. You need to get all that off there. So sometimes you just got to get up or get underneath it, get it started, and then you start peeling it back. And it comes off in nice little chunks like that. And you won't be able to tell where you need to do this at until you clean it all up with the wire brush first. The wire brush will not remove the seal, so some parts of it could be quite an adventure to get cleaned off. So we got this back pipe pretty clean. It's the flanged out, flared out pipe that connects to the inset right here. So this is the side that is really caked on and on really well. So we got to sit here and scrub all of it off here. So it's kind of like a rust and seal mixture. We got all the soot off. So sometimes wire brush might not be enough, and you have to tap it with a ball peen hammer, pry on it with a flathead. But you just got to get it as clean as possible, because you just need a relatively flat, even surface all the way around the pipe for the seal to actually reseal. All right, when you get ready to reinsert the seal to replace it, you're gonna have two sides. One's gonna be a flat, and one's gonna be kind of curved and beveled. The curved and beveled side faces the flange. So when you got it oriented that way, you see how it perfectly lines up with that flange? So when you get it oriented, you slip it over the other side all the way around. Be careful. Make sure it gets a nice snug fit all the way around. And this brand new seal will seal up this pipe and no more leak. And she'll build torque like she's supposed to, because this one coming straight off turbo, any leaks here, you will lose back pressure on the engine, and with the turbo, it'll lose this ability to create torque. And you'll notice that you're starting to burn more fuel at lower boost levels, and it takes more boost to make the same amount of power that you normally do at a low boost level. So like instead of using 15 psi, I might use 5 psi to make 50% torque. All right, let me grab this clamp. Then all we gotta do is reinstall the clamp behind the flange, line her all up. Keep her as tight as possible when you're reinserting this. Sometimes with this V-style clamps, they won't be all the way on, and when you tighten it down, you could damage the new seal or not get a proper seal. So you really need to get it tight as possible, and hand tightening it at first, take all the free play out. And then once you got it hand tight, work your hands all the way around the pipe. Make sure the V-clamp is in the proper position on both sides of the flanges. And then once you have that back in, you just take your impact and tighten it down. Now, don't over tighten these with an impact. You'll just break your bolt and have to buy a new clamp. I just snug it down and then I hand torque it. I don't know what the torque spec on these clamps are, but they can take quite a bit of torque, but I feel the resistance in my hand. When you take one off, break it by hand so you feel how much force you need to use, and use the same amount of force to retighten it, and you'll be good to go. All right, here's the fun part. All that hard work just to tighten her down.
See how I just easily snuggled down. Now I grab the wrench. So that was quite heavy, so I could put a couple more revs on her. Quite easy. There we go. We're getting to where she's going to be clamped down nice and tight. See how I'm just using 2 fingers? Because if I use more than 2 fingers, I will break this bolt right off by hand. Because I can't really gauge how much torque I'm putting on it with the whole hand. So I just put it between my thumb and the middle insert knuckle right here on your index finger. And it gives you a good stability to use your wrench. And it gives you a more accurate torque because there's a nerve right there that runs down your finger. So when you start feeling pain there, that's a good time to stop on this clamp. Oh, anybody been in a basic training? This is where some of your basic training skills come in handy, getting in and out of tight places. And that's all there is to it. It's more time in cleaning and scraping and using your wire brush than it is actually replacing the seal. So now we're going to put the steps back on and clean up all the tools in the mess. And as I sincerely thank y'all for tuning in and having a great time with us. Thank you and God bless, and we'll see you next time.
I got me 10 forward gears on a Georgia overdrive. I'm taking little white pills and my eyes are open wide.